Yo, most powerful ability in the game acquired. The run is going to get quite a bit more crazy very soon.
Absolutely massive, Toadette. Grips just took a few deaths getting sent back to that safety station.
I heard you guys like lore, right? Well, we have go fast left, we have go fast up with enemy, we have go fast down, and now we have go fast up without enemy. Charge jump acquired.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first race of the quarterfinals of the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills No Out of Bounds Teleport Anywhere tournament of 2022. This will be the first match in the best of 3 format, so stay tuned for just about 2 hours, 2 hours and 30, whatever our runners may take. We have Rin versus Sirius here for you. My name is 2kill, and on commentary for the first match will be joining me, Bobies. Bobies, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Quite excited by this race, which is probably going to be a fairly close one, as we have two really strong opponents, with Rin, of course, being the first seed, absolutely smashing the qualifiers with an average of 27.44 seconds, and Sirius being an excellent competitor that is actually the only one who managed to upset in the previous round. So a really worthy opponent that is seeded 9th, and that on his last race got a just 30, so just before the sub 30 stage. And so yeah, really a worthy opponent that we're gonna see a interesting race from.
Yeah, and also interesting to notice that Ren has been feeling a bit of inconsistency during the late game, whereas Sirius has been showing off some great consistency throughout the entirety of the tournament. So don't let those seed numbers fool you, and don't let that PB on Sirius' side fool you. That is the current speedrun.com PB, I think, and he has not uploaded his actual PB of what you mentioned, the 30 minutes. So these two are closer than they seem, and both with incredible experience in a lot of categories. Rin, of course, also with that world record in all cells, where Sirius is more on the randomizer stage of things, but both runners can put on a great show for sure. And Rin, on that note, has also mentioned that he just wants to have a clean 2-0 in his favor, of course, because he's a bit tired, hasn't slept yet, and just wants to get through this race as quickly as possible. So on his side, hopefully that will happen. On Sirius' side, a lot can go wrong in this runs, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks that can go really wrong. It's a swamp that we got the stats from. Actually, Sirius does not feel that comfortable with the swamp entry, for example. But we do see that Sirius tends to be more comfortable on other tricks compared to Rin. For example, Zorobash or even Dorwell. So yeah, we'll have to see. Stay tuned until the end, because it's going to be a really interesting one. Especially if we do get a 2-0 from Rin, because the last race might be interesting. Do you want to tell them what that's all about?
Yeah, if we get a 2-0, our runners have agreed to do a third race, and that will be a showcase of what's 20, and Sirius has showed off in his race against Muffin what he's capable in that. But with that, let's not talk about match 3, because we're just getting started in match 1, and our runners are going to head into that in just about 30 seconds. So obligatory question, Bobies. Will we see OG energy in Glades? Or how many do we see?
I'm counting on one OG energy. I'm sure that Rin can pull it off. I think he's a RNG lord, and that he can definitely get that OG energy down. I hope we see some emotes if we do actually get the energy. Both starting, I think Sirius started a bit earlier, or Rin started a bit later, but we'll get that synced up, no worries there. And yeah, just a start going to go get signed to get that attack ability. No big stuff yet. We'll have the Frankie fight on the way back where we can get a bit of some missteps. But for now, just luring this Rhino to make sure that we don't lose any time. It's very nice little backflip there on Sirius' side. Very nicely played and going to get signed.
Yeah, of course, one thing we should mention is the difference in language. While it doesn't really save any time, because you can just skip all the dialogue by turning off the UI, Rin is definitely upsetting every single German in the chat. I can tell you that much. Luckily for Sirius, he does not have to watch Rin, so he does not get upset. But he's showing off a very nice Frankie fight, absolutely no problem, does not need to stand still. Hopefully Rin can pull off the same thing, and as mentioned, we have a 15-second difference due to some race time changes last second, so don't worry about this, they will get synced, and of course only the timer matters and not who actually finishes first on that assignment. So far, no energy drop on Sirius' side, so hopefully none of our runners get it. It is some frames getting lost, and no one wants to lose those frames. They could be important after all. Rin does not quite get the stack here, but gets up nicely as well, and will make his way to the keystones as well. With the delay, it's kind of hard to tell right now who is in the lead and who isn't, but both runners are having no problems in these early games so far.
Yeah, Sirius pulling off the Ghost Door very nicely, taking just the right amount of hits beforehand and being able to die in that water in one hit, getting that Spirit Light on the Frankie. Rin on his side did have to take one extra hit from the water. Lost a tiny bit of time there as Sirius goes down, breaks that rumble to be safe. We'll have a little pause on Sirius' side to put them back on same timer as Rin is making his way as well to this little zigzag with two slimes, playing it very well, and they are very close to each other if this is the correct case.
Yeah, Rin even getting the hop into the Mapstone cutscene to save a few more frames. Now you can see them exactly synced pretty much. Of course, there's a lot of run to go, but having two runners be that synced early on is just always so nice to see, as there's so much time loss that is just invisible to someone who doesn't know exactly what they are doing. Sirius getting the level up on the way down. It looks like Rin will get it on the way up. So no brambles on either side as we're heading to get wall jump. And with that wall jump, of course, the first ability of our need to get every skill in this, well, all skills tournament. That kind of makes sense. So this is the most basic. You go onto a wall, you jump up on it, and really something that, well, Will of the Wisps doesn't have, and Blind Forest has, with the double jump especially, a lot of timing going on with it. So now Rin getting that level up will kill all the brambles here, so no problem there. So gets the Trojan log jump, Sirius also, so nicely done, and they will be heading into the Schwarzwurzelgänge, so hopefully they can skip the cutscene and won't get trolled by too many cycles, but for now, jumping on that elbow, both no problem. We know from Rin's side that he will be playing a bit more careful because he feels he has the advantage and just needs to be very clean about it. And yeah, just jumping and running until we get to our beloved dash.
Yeah, something important to note is that Rin did get his 4th HP. Sirius, of course, took it, but Rin, out of safety, decides for the tournament to take that 4th HP that we see on wall jump. Rin getting another one of those little glides that you can do with that nice turnaround jump. Very nicely played from him, being slightly ahead for this cutscene skip. They will both be getting Quick Flame, so going Magnicless most likely to save a bit of time on that key walk, and especially on fighting those enemies later on, especially if you can think of the mini boss in Ginza. But yeah,
one important thing to note is that Rin only needs to kill and collect 2 slime XP, whereas Sirius needs to get 3. He could also manage with 2, but 3 is the safer option, especially if you're going magnetless, since he needs 40 XP to level up. And yeah, so it will be important to see which slimes they decide to kill for now. That is an intentional level up, and we do not expect our runners to take that XP. And never mind, Rin gets the XP. I did not quite see if Sirius got it, but both get the same cycle on this end, hopefully also with the laser. The safety save from Rin, not from Sirius, but both get up. Yeah, you can see just how close these are.
Both getting the cycle, very well played on both sides. I thought Sirius wasn't quite going to catch that, but he did get it. Not even a safety save needed, so we might actually see him use his energy for something else afterwards. I'll have to keep an eye for that. And actually getting an energy from that slime again, so very lucky on his side. As we see them both head to this little lantern that you can turn on, and soon they will both be getting the ability that is in the zone, which is Dash. That will be helping them to go way faster, and as previously said, Sirius did use that energy to do a save anywhere, where he will be saving a tiny bit of time, but by not having to do another save.
Yeah, but he's still 17 off of leveling up. I'm not sure if he's so confident in his magnetless Frankie walk. You can definitely get those 17 XP from the Frankie. It just depends on how comfortable he is. But yeah, we will be seeing 2 different kinds of cutscene stacks. Ren got that save anywhere on the tree, where Sirius got it going earlier, so you can see that it's now pretty much synced. And both need to be in the exact position to get it, and it looks like Rin got it, and Sirius as well, so we will be seeing some blind movement. Hopefully none of our runners fall into that pit. And yeah, Rin is over it, and Sirius as well. Rin gets the dash glide. Sirius gets it first try, saving a bunch of time, but now it's on for Frankie Walk, hopefully. Billy won't be trolling our runners, and hopefully Sirius will get enough XP from him. So yeah, both need to be very careful with their setup. With that quick flame, they need to be able to not kill Billy before it, but I'm sure they can manage, and then get all the XP they need to level up and put those 4 energy in the door. So let's keep an eye out for that. Both Frankies in good position in terms of HP. Need to position themselves very carefully on the wall, and Rin gets the door open, but this isn't over yet. Sirius also gets it open. Hopefully Death Gauntlet won't bring death to them. Dodges the Frankie. Sirius also dodges the Frankie, and we are off to the energy cell on the side of Rin. And Sirius is close. Oh, behind. Rin gets the save, so is through, and Sirius also is through, just not safe quite yet, but should be able to get through.
Yeah, we're going to see something interesting here on Rin's side. Hopefully he will go for God Cycle. I believe Sirius will also attempt it. Rin got it, very nicely played from him, and Sirius too. Very nice, saving 1 Ori standard unit, very nicely played from both. Getting that last keystone, and so they can finally do this other ghost door, and be heading to double jump, of course, to save some extra time. They might also try to do the blind movement. I believe Rin will be going for it. Oh no!
Yeah, Rin is usually going for the game storage in front of the Ginso tree, so Sirius's advantage that he will gain here will be only temporary. And actually it isn't an advantage, but he actually is ahead of his PB currently by 23 seconds as of dash, so maybe this will be his first 29 run, which would be very interesting to see. But yeah, so far Rin still in the head, still in the lead, and will get some more lead later on the Ginso tree. But now comes, of course, the dreaded grotto wall and the dreaded grotto skip. Rin does not quite get it first try. That is time that Sirius can make up if he gets it first try, and not quite. Trolled by the wall, but Rin gets the baguette jump, officially also now a French runner, which is not quite surprising, I believe. But yeah, runners just really synced and really a close race so far.
Yeah, I believe Rin did lose a bit more time on their grotto skip fail, so that gave a bit of time for Sirius to catch up. Sirius doing a very nice jump on the right side there to get that extra experience. Rin trying to get this turnaround, but doesn't quite get it, and Sirius not even going for the cutscene little skip. But Rin taking a bit of an advantage and still sticking ahead. They'll be getting out of these awful grotto walls, hopefully, and stop being annoyed by these wall jumps, of course.
And Sirius saved 5 seconds getting to double jump tree on his PB, so now 34 seconds, and excuse me, ahead of his own PB. So great time for him for sure, and really not a lot of mistakes on either side so far. We get that level up on Ren's side, so maybe roughly 6-7 seconds ahead, but he will be doing C juggle, which means he has some save in this split, but later on he will lose, quote unquote, lose some time to that trick. So Sirius is going to spend a bit more time to get that ability cell, which Rin does not need. However, he still needs the teleporter and got that, as he is now setting up for the game storage. So he will open a save anywhere to skip this cutscene, and then game storage to skip the cutscene in the tree and be able to move behind it. So hopefully everything goes well. And yep, he can move, so can move during that animation that Sirius will have to watch. So a bit more time save on that side as well. And you can see that climbing this tree is quite precise, but Rin making it look easy right here.
Yeah, Rin going forward is pretty tough in the cycle. So yeah, really well played by him, going through that bottom route, of course. Getting that very nice movement through Ginzo, as Sirius on his side also going for this very precise cycle. Gets it slightly too high dash line actually. He got wrapped, so unlucky on his side. Rin got that set up to get the cycle correctly in this room as well. I don't know if we're gonna see Sirius go for that afterwards. But yeah, both playing very well through Ginzo. No big issue for Rin right now, who is heading towards his min boss and will be getting fully a free cycle. That is what he's aiming for with Quick Flame. See if he can get it. Very nicely played. Good job.
Yeah, it can't be understated how hard this is to hit in the cycles that Rin did it. So really well done. Hopefully Sirius can do the same thing to keep up. But regardless, he's 46 seconds ahead of his PB currently, which, wow, this is amazing, especially for a race. And with that, Rin is going to be the first to acquire Bash right here. And will put in the 4 keystones and get not a hyperspeed, but at least a ghost door. And with that, the most powerful skill of the game has been gotten by Rin, and the run will indeed get a lot more quicker now, as Sirius did not catch the energy. I'm not sure if he now has energy for the ghost door. We will see about that, while Rin climbs the second half of Ginzo Tree and will set up for key dupe. And Sirius got the ghost door, so no disadvantage there, and also now has Bash. So really well done. Rin gets the higher save and can now continue with this trick.
Yeah, he's taking that damage boost. Very nice play by him. And to save a bit of extra time, setting up that key dupe. Oop, slightly too much to the right, playing it safe. That is fine, he still got it. Just lost a tiny bit of time as Sirius is heading also towards that direction. We might see a double bash from him. That I believe
Rin actually didn't get the keystone and send the door first try, so he needs to needed to do it again. So that is some seconds lost. Oh, and I do believe he didn't rekindle afterwards, so even more time lost, as he does not have the 3 keystones now. So we'll need to do the entire trick again, and that means that they are basically tied again. As you can see, both putting in the keystones at the exact same time. So Rin will need to be a bit more careful to not die again, as that was quite a time loss and definitely means that Sirius caught up. And as mentioned before, the C juggle mostly saves time in the early game and not later on. So considering that trick later, Sirius is actually kind of in the lead right now.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Sirius caught back up with that key dupe fail from Rin, but actually I think he missed that double bash, so he won't be getting all the experience he wants on this mini boss, but that should be fine. He should be still able to level up in the places he wants to. But yeah, they're super synced right now, teleporting exactly at the same time. They're really like frame synced almost. That is absolutely insane to watch. Jumping on these grotto walls at the same time. It's just great. And they're both heading towards this slightly annoying trick that is swamp entry that we talked about in the intro. Both taking the lasers, they'll be watching that. They'll have to watch out on the way back because there will be the lasers. But yeah, swamp entry, pretty major tricks. 2 kills you want to talk for?
Yeah, I do believe we also have 2 different setups for that, although I'm not sure. Rin is definitely going to use some double bashes, but it looks like Sirius will as well, so let's see how they go. And Rin gets it first try, Sirius also first try, so no problem on that. Both runners getting the shots in the right position, and Rin setting up for some hyperspeed. I do believe Sirius couldn't. Gets it, so now, well, minor time save really. But will be attempting to get there up there and is indeed taking the damage boost to go up a bit faster. You can just see how good Rin's movement is and how much more experienced in the category he is than Sirius. Gets to Stomp Tree with about 5 seconds more in his pockets, even though Sirius did absolutely nothing wrong.
Sirius has been pulling up an really impressive run, however. He is still ahead of his PB, I believe. Just not doing any big failures, just sticking behind Rin, who is maybe more experienced, but has still done a few mistakes, which have made him stick to Sirius as well. They're both going back here to get this ability cell, of course, using Ringo once again. And Rin actually fails this little trick, so that's a pretty big time loss. Well, pretty big. Probably 1 Ori unit. And Sirius is actually ahead now, dodging those lasers and heading towards the non-existing cutscene that we won't see here, hopefully. Very nice.
Yeah, and indeed nothing to see, hopefully, on the side of Rin. It won't look any different. So hope it goes right. Yep, nothing to see here. There's no big angry burp there. Sirius maybe has now 7 seconds lead over his opponent and is also 40 seconds ahead of PB. So really having a great run right here. And Rin does need to catch up, but he is known to have a great execution. But as he mentioned, he might have some troubles in the late game. And that wall is also sometimes hard to break, but Sirius now at Charge Flame Tree will open his save anywhere to skip the next cutscene, and I do believe that Rin goes for the same trick. So, yeah, 6 seconds maybe of difference as we're heading into the Valley of the Wind, and the run is definitely about to get a lot more technical, a lot more execution heavy. As, both runners are making sure to make their way through this area. And hopefully they will get all the hard tricks first try. Rin has been showing to have some troubles with Sorrow Bash, so hopefully that will not F him sideways this time, as he kind of called it. So hopefully we'll all go right. Sirius with the double bash of the frog, well done. Can get a bit more height out of this. Let's see. Yeah, Rin going for the same trick, but drops the double bashes, unfortunately. So takes the hit from the frog and takes some minor time loss. So that is more advantage on the side of Sirius, who's really having the run of his life right now.
Yeah, they are absolutely showing off how good Dean's movement is around here. Rin did explain that he had trained the mid game quite well, so he should be fairly comfortable up towards Glide. As we see Sirius having some issue with fast Stompless, he'll probably go for the backup cell that is situated just under, but he was 57 seconds ahead of his BB at Source Flame, so that is absolutely insane. He is having an excellent run. This is maybe the first major time loss that he has taken, as Rin is just behind him, doing a very good fast Stompless. And we're now entering a more troublesome part of the race for Rin, as he did say he was less comfortable the endgame, as Yukio mentioned.
Yeah, and Rin also showing off some nice new tech with that save anywhere to save during that cutscene and get charge dash with that. He immediately puts it to use now, maybe 3 seconds ahead of his opponent going to Sorrow Bash. So hopefully will go well. Rin.
Sirius
Both
having a bit of
troubles
trouble.
with birds. But Sirius is the first in the elbow, and Rin unfortunately kills his bird while Sirius gets through, no problem. First try, Sorrow Bash for him. But takes a bump into the spikes.
That is a really bad death. Thankfully, he did save just before. He'll have some trouble here, but very nicely played by him. Well, backups there. The bird was not in a good spot, as Rin also got through it, getting towards his little lure of the frog here. Sirius doing the same. They're very close to each other, as Rin is doing his trading juggle, a very complicated trick that we won't see Sirius doing. We'll be doing the arrow break route. So Rin saving, I believe it is 7 seconds.
I mean, it is mostly saved in the early game, not really time save here. The only difference is that we will get to see Sunstone before a charge jump. So, yeah, while Sirius is getting charge jump and opening his save anywhere for the same thing that Rin is doing right now, obtaining Sunstone, Rin is getting that Sunstone first and then heading into Dorito Caves to obtain his charge jump. So, slight route divergence there. It will get synced in just about half a minute again once both runners are on their way into Misty Woods. But yeah, Rin careful about the laser cycles, definitely good, considering he would have been fried. But Sirius is moving up there as Rin is about to hit his charge jump tree. So yeah, Sirius is, by the way, still about 20 seconds ahead of his current PB. So still a really, really great run despite the small hiccup there at Sorrow Bash and Fast Stompless. But now Rin is going to be the first to drop down towards Misty Woods. Hopefully that area will go well. That 4 HP really is nice for that area, as it means you don't instantly die. Even takes the safety save here, understandable. Will go for the fast drop, not even tapping the feather there. Gets the meteor kick and now is into the Nebel Force.
Yeah, we'll be seeing some really nice stomp cancels in from both runners, as Sirius on his side as well doing the meteor kick. Rin getting that other rocket jump, very nicely played. I always get scared in that area that they'll fall into the spikes, but very nice stomp cancels, being very careful about his energy. Still has 2, playing very well, being careful in some parts, getting that little cutscene skip with that save, as Sirius as well doing some very nice stair cancels. Both showing off an excellent Misty. Just look at it.
Sirius really good with the backup strats. Almost stomped into spikes, but realized quickly and tapped his feather. And both runners are taking that safety save to skip the cutscene. Definitely something for safety. Mostly it doesn't save too much time, but means you have a safety save before you're getting into the spike corridor. And that save definitely paid off for Sirius, as he immediately gets back to the lantern and not to the start of Misty, whereas Rin is now in the second half of Misty, has obtained Climb Tree, which realistically Climb won't be used too much besides for that grenade jump, but yeah, he is now comfortably in the lead of about 15 to 20 seconds probably, and will make sure to keep that lead. So now dropping down into spikes, and not into spikes, but actually above them to get to this energy and probably obtain it. Yeah, makes a safety save and will head towards the mini-boss in Sirius. Also in the second half of Misty, of course also getting that charge jump before the climb. We will maybe see a divergence for game 3 as mentioned. But for now, let's see if we see a mini-boss on the side of Rin.
I have never heard about a mini-boss. I don't know what you're talking about here. There was a mini-boss at Misty? I think Rin completely bypassed that mini-boss actually. And Sirius is heading towards it as well, getting that nice rocket jump. Maybe a second one right here. Very nice to take on.
Yeah, there was maybe a purple blob. Maybe Sirius will show us a bit more, but hopefully not, to keep up with the race. No, we actually get to see both mini bosses, so that looked a lot like Bang Panic. But is now through. Got the level up, which will be very important because we need to skip another 70-second cutscene as not Ryan, is heading there. We are going to glitch out the lever and head towards the grenade tree, our last skill tree that we need to obtain. As Sirius is also heading out of Misty, took some damage, but should be fine in terms of energy, which is the more important part here, as we need to save twice. And now Rin is through and will obtain that grenade and hopefully show us some nice grenade jumps.
Yeah, I believe he'll show it to us straight away as soon as he picks up grenade. Most recent info, we were about 30 seconds away, which runner was, so very tight race, and Sirius is still 10 seconds ahead of his PB at climb. I believe he hasn't done any major mistakes since then, so probably still ahead of his PB. So excellent race, Sirius right here. He was really something very nice, very cool rocket jump right there, getting that dash glide to go even faster through that cutscene. And Rin gets his 5th HP and will be heading to the final little zone, the Horror Fields.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get through as Sirius is collecting his last tree, and I'm sure he will be showing off some grenade jumps as well. He showed in his race against Muffin that he's definitely capable of some great. And Rin picking up the ability cell does not really lose anything, but isn't of any use for him anymore. Gets through. Hopefully Door Warp will treat both runners nicely, and Rin setting up for the grenade jump, gets it first try. This is one of the most satisfying grenade jumps in the game, so happy to see runners go for it consistently, as Sirius took the upper route to the health cell and is now teleporting into Swamp to follow Rin, who will need to have some struggles in the final escape for Sirius to allow to catch up here. I'm not sure if Rin will be doing some warmth skip after the first try Door Warp. We will have to wait and see. And indeed, just look like he will go for this game storage trick to, well, play half the escape blind, because the final escape isn't hard enough as it is. Gets through, is already in the lantern room, needs to destroy these two walls and get through. Hopefully the fish will treat him nicely as he gets through the S-bend and into the swim. 1 damage, 2, 3, only one more hit left, and gets out of the water, so now just needs to jump up and then set up for his final grenade jump to close out this race. So, sets up, doesn't get it first try. With the warm script, doesn't have too many tries left. Oh, he does not get the final grenade jump, so this will be super close.
Yeah, I believe that grenade jump saves like around at least 30-40 seconds, so that is some potential time save for Sirius to catch back up a tiny bit. He might not be able to get quite the speed to catch back up, but he will be starting his escape. He goes in, does some very, very nice jump cancels. Setting up a grenade jump, getting it. Also, it's really speedy here. Getting another one. Excellent. Setting up for his fish cycle. He did get a 6 HP, so he should be fine here. No matter what, getting 3 damage, a 4th one, he is fine. Ooh, we see Kuro, so he won't be able to set up very nicely. He might be going for it still. Excellent grenade jump. That was very tight. Kuro could have killed him in that last one if he did fail.
That also means that Rin won, because we saw Ori running there, whereas on Rin's side, Ori already ran. So GG for Rin, but we will get synchronized Naru. So this is definitely the closest race of the tournament so far. But GG to Rin. This is 29-23 as it is, and Sirius is holding right as well. So wow, super close first race, and Remember, don't go anywhere. We won't have an interview with our runners. We will give them a 10-minute break, and also for you to refill your drinks and your snacks. As 16 seconds apart for that first race. You don't want to miss the second and the third match. The next match will be commentated by Bobies and Shave, so definitely watch out for that. And wow, that was a race.
Big round of GGs for both runners, but especially Sirius, who got a PB actually. So yeah, first sub 30 for him. So excellent race by both of them, very close. And yeah, we'll see you all in about 10 minutes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament 2022. My name is Shafe, joined alongside Bobies, aka King Tighty, aka whatever other names you go by. We have Rin versus Sirius here, going on into Game 2 of this best of 3 in the bracket quarterfinals. Rin taking the first game by just 15 seconds. Sirius getting a PB finally into the 29 territory, and you were on for that first match, and Rin definitely kind of let Sirius into that with some mistakes in Sorrow and the Kidup and Ginzo, and unfortunately I think if Sirius didn't take that death in Sorrow, it probably would have been within 2 or 3 seconds probably at the final. But there you have it. Rin has the game, and that's all that matters. Doesn't matter how much time you take in order to beat your opponent, just that you beat him. And he's in a good position here, 1-0 up on Sirius. We will be getting all 3 matches, regardless of the result here in Game 2. If Game 3 is not going to matter in terms of the result, aka if Rin wins this match, we're still going to get a third one. They're going to do a 20 seconds match, so it's going to be fun. Either way, what do you think is going to be shaping up here for match number 2?
I think it's probably going to be, once again, a fairly tight race. I think Sirius is really being threatening towards Rin right now, and Rin maybe not feeling the most comfortable with his late game, especially as we just saw. Did go take a little walk before this second game to settle down and be a bit more calm. So hopefully he might be more confident in his tricks. But yeah, Sirius being a very good competitor in this tournament, absolutely smashing his PB once again. So yeah, probably a close race once again, I hope.
Yeah, that's probably, I think, his 3rd or 4th PB so far. This tournament, like, he's been absolutely on fire, especially coming on the heels of the Will-o'-the-Wisps rando tournament. He didn't have a whole lot of time to focus on all skills here in Ori and the Blind Forest, and yet he has just put on an absolute clinic in terms of his practice and his improvement. So we'll see whether or not he could PB again. He definitely has at least 15 or 20 seconds to save in the late game, and his consistency so far this tournament has been out of this world. We are going to see the runners readying up, and we'll be getting going here in just a moment. Of course, Prologue skipped the most important trick in the game that is not door warp. Will the runners successfully skip it? Yes, indeed. 10 minutes off the bat. Successfully saved. Runners going to be heading left, picking up Sign, and then Wall Jump, and then coming back to Black Root Burrows. Unfortunately, not playing in Russian, which is the fastest language. So,
Yeah, no, Rin definitely sticking to that German 2-kill not being here. We won't be getting the German names for each location. I won't be trying to get that German accent down. Rin falling in that little lake, taking a hit, shouldn't be too bad. He should die to this rhino, hopefully. But yeah, setting
unless
up.
he thinks he's playing rando. He did do a seed or two earlier today.
No, going for Sign. Thank God Rin is still with us, and we'll be picking that up with the beautiful German text. So Sirius being just a tad ahead. Nothing big yet. Wall Jump is a fairly not too crazy split, so nothing really intense going on, apart from this little fights that both are doing very well.
It's kind of interesting, though. You don't typically expect to see a mistake in the first minute like that from a runner of Rin's caliber, but as has been mentioned, he took a walk in order to kind of settle down from the first race, felt that he was a little bit on tilt, so maybe he hasn't quite shaken all that off just yet. Runners jumping off the pad here. Doesn't look like either of them got a stack in terms of health or energy, so we'll want to keep eyes on any of those drops. Not going to have a choice here on the Brambles. Looks as though they both get through clean and land at the rock at the same time. Rin's going to take just a slight advantage here, getting to the Keystone, then off to the left for the Ghost Door, and Rin avoids the health. Very nicely done with the jump, and the damage boosts are successful. Ghost Door will also be no problem. Dropping down into the water, both on 1 HP. Do expect the runners to continue the 4 HP route here, just for a little bit of safety in a race environment. And yes, indeed, they are button hooking back to the 4th health cell.
Yeah, it's definitely a better choice. We did see that in Misty. It's very easy to just die like Sirius. So taking that extra health does help for later on, and also in the early game where it's a bit easier to not take a really costly death. The few energy we have, where we can't do a lot of safety saves. Rin once again doing that little glide maneuver to save a tiny bit of time. I always love seeing that. Both grabbing their keystone and will now be heading towards wall jump. Their own pace and getting just the right amount of experience on both sides. And I believe we'll see Rindu flower skip, so saving a tiny bit of time. Ooh, we're both going for it. Never mind. Both saving a bit of time. Very nicely played on both sides.
Yeah, nice little heads up there from Ren. XP was looking a little bit high, so opted to damage boost to the Spore Wall. Did make the drop down a little bit more spooky if you miss Flower Skip and bonk into the slime. That's a death, and it's a pretty costly one. Sends you back to Ghost Door. But he got through. He's at wall jump, gets the refill on health and energy. And so now both runners will be heading off to Norejinovo Koranya, otherwise known as Blackroot Burrows, because, you know, Russian's the fastest language. Sorry, I have to meme.
I didn't think we'd be getting the Russian versions, but I am not unhappy about that. Thank you so much. And yeah, getting that level up on Rin's side, same on Sirius. Very nicely played by both, killing the slime. Going up here, getting that Chojan jump. Perfect. Getting this little wall jump. Not annoying wall jumps yet. We aren't in Grotto, but we will be heading there soon, however. Just after BRB. Will be getting dash.
Yeah, Enter Ginzo is unironically one of the hardest splits in the game to perform at a high level because of those walls and the technique that you do with the wall jump, double jump. You know, trying to go for ninja jumps might get the samurai jumps instead. But either way, you're looking to basically minimize your time on those walls so you don't have to worry about the geometry hecking you. And we'll see that in short order, but we still do have to get through Blackroot first. We're going to see Rin getting to the teleporter roughly at the 4:34 mark, and Sirius is going to be about 4 seconds behind, a little under 4 seconds, heading into Blackroot here. XP pretty much identical, setting up the save anywhere. Quick flame route on both sides, no surprise there. In order to make the Ginzo mini-boss a little bit faster. Interesting enough, the RNG on the mini-boss in Ginzo last race was, while not identical, it was pretty similar. They both got right-side spawns as the last spawn, and you do like to see that in a race setting. There isn't a whole lot of RNG in this game, but when it does crop up, you do like to try and see some RNG parity there. No one frame on the pickup for Rin. Will Sirius get it? No little brief time save there. Safety save for Sirius, though, does pause just briefly to drop that down. Does not want to get sent back to the SA, and perhaps very well played. Takes a bit of damage there. Heading into this orb room. Does get the refill, so the health will be okay for the time being. And Rin very high on XP. He's almost got the full donut here. Let's see whether or not he gets the cycle.
Yeah, I believe they were both on 27 experience at the start, so got those 2 slimes, and now is very close to a level up. Both got the cycle. Excellently played, saving those 8 seconds. It was very tight on it, but they both got it, and they're both going to be setting up for the blind movement with dash. Sirius having 1 extra energy, so he'll be able to do that save anywhere that we saw in the previous race, saving a tiny bit of time and maybe even catching up to Rin, as they're both very close to one another, right?
Yeah, first big trick coming up on this cutscene stack, not only in terms of the setup of the stack, but the blind movement that comes out. Ooh, Sirius actually gets knocked back from that slime and will lose the cycle as a result of it. So that is +8 for Sirius. Gonna have to wait for this little platform here, but yeah, as the first sort of big trick between stacking the cutscenes and the blind movement heading off to the left. If you fall into the pit, the game will automatically save there, and you lose. I believe the technical term is a metric boatload of time, and very difficult to try and come back from. So we'll see whether or not the runners successfully pull off the stack and subsequent blind movement here in short order. Rin is going to be the first to it, as mentioned, with the 8-second advantage over Sirius. Neither of our runners, by the way, are watching the opponent, so they don't know what kinds of mistakes or perfect execution, or so be it, the other runner is making. So they're just playing. They're playing the video game as best as they can. And Rin is across the pit and heading over to Billy for the Frankie Walk. Sirius gets the stack successfully. and is now into the blind movement as well. And it looks like he's fine. Don't see the camera moving yet. He is over. So the first major trick is out of the way. A second major trick right on its heels with Frankie Walk.
Yeah, Frankie Walk, making sure that you get that level up right next to the door. With Magnetless, it is really tough, and you need to make sure you lure that experience towards you. We'll be seeing both of them hopefully successfully manage it. Rin doing a great job to lure to Billy, as same on his side, sticking to that wall on the right, waiting for him to jump and getting that experience right on the correct time, getting all that energy in the door. Perfect execution, as we see Sirius doing the same, waiting on that wall as Rin enters Death Gauntlet. So a bit complicated, but will not be dying actually. Taking hopefully this safety save, make sure that he doesn't get set back too much if he does die on the next trick.
It's kind of an interesting safety save. I like it. You place it a little bit earlier than you normally would in PB attempts, which is down below next to the bridge. But placing it right there, you don't have to worry about getting knocked by the Kamikaze Slime. Sirius actually doesn't place a save at all, and is going to be placing his right on the right side of the spikes here as Rin is setting up his HP after getting the God Cycle. Another 8 seconds here. No, Sirius gets it as well, so we'll retain the roughly 12-second difference between the runners that they had at Dash. Rin ahead, of course. Rin will be watching the cutscene here, goes for the game storage at Ginzo, as Sirius goes for the blind movement coming out of double jump. So we'll see a little bit of a catch up here for Sirius, but that will be negated and overcome by Rin, assuming game storage goes well. And game storage is a bit of a finicky trick to get sometimes. You have to really be precise with your menuing on the scroll wheel. Nice movement coming out of double jump for Rin, right side. Sirius executing the blind movement as you cannot see currently. We'll see whether or not he is through and up. Yep, that was actually better than the first race. He was almost up at the left wall that time. Oh, takes a hit off of the spikes, though. Has to double back and still hasn't placed the save. Going for the damage boost off of this Frankie as well, down to 1 HP. Needs to cleanly get over these spikes, and does. And he is through. Baguette jump for Rin. Ooh, fails it once. Will he go for it again? Yeah, he goes for it again. Needs to validate his French citizenship and is confirmed to still be French. Sirius is going for it as well. The honorary French citizen gets it. Very nice, but a little bit of time caught up for Sirius as a result of that.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. He did break the energy fragment, so he is not an honorary French citizen actually. So yeah, sorry, I have to ban that one.
Yep,
but
yeah,
yeah, continuing on these grotto walls that are seeming fine for both runners, actually. We did talk about them being a bit annoying because of their geometry, but they're both playing magnificently, with Rin getting some excellent ninja jumps. We also saw Sirius do some, and we'll see some again soon. And yeah, those jumps that just look beautiful with the neutral into the double jump. Yeah, both doing some excellent movement out of grotto.
Little bit of a early dash on Sirius's side there. Didn't get the dash glide, had to pause for a brief second, but is through now. Safety save into Iceless for Rin. Gets the level up and the explosion, and will be on the way through. This is going to be a slight route divergence here, as you saw in game 1, not going up for the ability cell at the tree. You will see Rin grab that. 7 seconds approximately saved for the sea juggle route that Rin will be going for. A terror break for Sirius. It looks like Rin is through to the swamp teleporter, and we'll now be heading into Ginzo. Did have a little bit of trouble if you are just joining us and missed game 1. Rin had some spaghetti in the key-dupe room, actually missed it twice. Well, technically once, and then didn't rekindle on the second one, so I'll call it twice. But that allowed Sirius a lot of opportunity to catch up and actually sort of sync the runners as they were heading towards swamp entry. So we'll see how that plays out. In the meantime, game storage for Rin looks good. Does get the movement ahead of time as the cutscene is playing out. And advancing up, not quite getting into blind movement territory at the top, but very well done nonetheless. Will we get the fast cycle here in the gamer room is the question. Do expect it from him, yes, making it look easy. And he is through and up. Oh, does take a bit of a hit off of that top gamer, though, loses a bit of time, but not too much. And that game storage is where Rin gets the advantage in terms of time save over the blind movement at double jump. And so he has remade that for sure.
Yeah, he definitely backed that up really nice in the gaming room. making sure that he didn't fall all the way back down. As Sirius is going for the telehops, really complicated tricks, but actually gets a really good cycle out of that. Not the best one, but really nicely played by him. It is a super tough trick where you double jump from side to side as you pass through the teleporters. So yeah, excellent execution there. Rin going into his mini boss. We'll see if he gets the same type of RNG that he got in the previous one and manages to get it in 3 cycles. Spawns on the right side again, and we'll be getting those experiences. A bit complicated to lure them all the way, but we'll be
not taking
both.
damage on. Yeah, okay. Oh, took a death. He went for the second one and didn't get the double jump off in time, and did take a death. That was actually a 3 cycle with a right side spawn. Was looking pretty good, but didn't quite get the XP. So in the meantime, Sirius now right side has an opportunity to gain a fair chunk of time here, just basically by not dying, but he does misread the spawn. That will send him to a 4th cycle, possibly 5th. No, he does get the 4th cycle, but not taking the death. Still will bring him back to some level of parity with Rin, and seeing some mistakes you kind of don't expect from Rin so far. In this series, you know, between some of the stuff that happened in game 1 and now we're starting to see a little bit of nerves here in game 2. Did mention that he was tilted after game 1, so hopefully he's able to lock that down. You mentioned Bobies that his mental state is usually pretty good for that, to be able to battle back from it, but seems to be having a little bit of trouble here. So Ori take for Rin, as both runners have now acquired Bash.
Yeah, Rin is still a very consistent player that does have some insane times in the qualifiers that we saw, so no too big worries. We're seeing him fully play the rest of this game so perfectly, and he gets that very nice damage boost for that early save, getting this key dupe. Will he mess it up this time? No, he sets up for it. Takes a bit of extra time to make sure that he gets it right down. The first time doesn't rekindle once again, so hopefully he doesn't miss it on this second try where he gets all 4 keystones, and hopefully we'll be seeing a hyperspeed and Sirius on his side just behind him getting his key dupe as well, doing the very fast version of it that is a bit complicated to set up, but very nice to play on his side, and also going for a second time with hopefully a hyperspeed as well.
Yeah, I like that tech from Sirius. Just a very consistent way in order to be able to take that death usually. About 12 seconds difference at Bash, by the way. Rin did get all the XP from the second mini-boss here, so he's fine on XP for now, but we'll be coming up on Swamp Entry. Sirius, ooh, he's only able to get 1 out of that. Usually you want to get at least 2, so I might have to try and manage his XP, maybe off of Ringo a little bit. Excuse me, as we're heading towards Swamp Entry. And Sirius, biggest problem in terms of major tricks had been Swamp Entry. Was coming into this series roughly at 33% on that trick, but did get it first try in the last race, so we'll see how that plays out in race number 2. This is Rin almost taking Ringo for a dump on the near side of that platform island floating in the water there. Ringo misses the first shot as he's positioned a little bit to the left, but the second shot looks good. Double bash up, no magical wizardry from Ringo this time, and you'll love to see that. Sirius right side setting up for Swamp Entry now, as well as Rin is going for the hyper speed. Sirius does take a dip in the water, 2 hits of damage, and does not place a safety save. He should be okay here, as the first shot from Ringo is good, grabs the AC, gets the bash, no phase either, and he is through. So, takes a death to the Rhino afterwards, though. Ooh, that is rough for Sirius.
Oh, really bad death. You don't expect the Rhino to kill you there. That is after you brave of doing a Swamp Entry, but taking that death is going to cost him quite a bit. Missing that cycle for the double bash there, so having to come back, get an extra bullet there. As we do see a little high five as Rin is coming out of this swamp location on his side, gonna use Ringo once again to get that ability cell, and going to be heading to the existing cutscene.
Yeah, this time Ringo cooperates on the way back for Rin, which he had trouble with on the first race. But looking good so far. And this is sort of starting to get into the position where Sirius is going to need some pretty hefty mistakes from Rin in order to be able to catch up. But Rin has not been confident in his Sorrow Bash. Did take a few attempts at it in the last race, so by no means is Sirius out of this. Particularly with the way that he's been playing, the consistency that he's had in the tournament overall, PBing 3 or 4 times. Like, Sirius is definitely capable of making this interesting, but at this point, that Swamp Entry death, pretty big for Sirius. So Rin in a comfortable spot here, does not know it. Again, if you're just joining us, the runners are not watching each other, so they do not know where they are in relation to their opponent. Ringo cooperating for Sirius, almost kind of just grabs the ledge of that platform right before the AC, but is through. Didn't like going for the cycle there on the lasers, didn't like his movement, so I really like that from Sirius, just pausing for a second, taking the moment to make sure that he got through safely instead of taking a death, which would have been a lot worse. Ooh, but we do see a little bit of lore. Sirius opting to reload. It takes damage on the spikes off of the hyperspeed. Just a matter of not being accustomed to that. Does get the cutscene skip on the second attempt, however, as Rin is heading into Valley Entry and Fast Stompless.
Yeah, we're going to see this pretty rough trick, Fast Stompless, that Rin has had a bit of issue with recently, he told me. Sirius is dying again, I believe, so he has to redo this lore, not lore, maybe lore? He's once again opting to save and quit to actually just come back and redo the trick, which does actually save some time if he manages to do it on the second try. So, as well, heading towards Sea Flame, this is, again, more time loss, so yeah, putting him a bit further behind, but Sirius still doing some very good movement here, as Rin is going towards his Fast Stompless. We're seeing if he can get that on his first attempt, setting up, getting that angle, very nicely done, and be seeing this very cool new method of doing it, where he gets the save anywhere and goes for that ability cell, perfectly done, gets his C-dash, and now we'll be going towards the rougher bash.
Yeah, Ren has been very good at Stompless throughout the tournament so far, 100%. Sirius did miss his first one in game 1, excuse me. Throat's kind of dry today, don't know why. And did get Sad Cello. So hopefully Sirius gets that one first try and doesn't let the nerves get to him. Does seem like he's playing a little bit more nervous than he was in game 1, but still managing to hold on to it fairly well. And Sorrow Bash going to give Rin some more trouble, as does not get the rocket jump all the way up, not even to Sorrow Bash itself, but the preliminary towards it. Will now get to this crystal and collect the energy, not placing a safety save, so if this goes sideways for him, he will be back down towards the teleporter. Bird almost gets bonked into the spikes, but he is through the difficult portion, but Sorrow will kill you, no mercy at all if you make a single mistake. He still has Sea Juggle, very difficult trick to perform. Does get the initial rocket jump. Frog leaning off to the right, very nicely controlled by Rin, bashing it back up into the center. This is a little bit of spaghetti, and yes, the frog dies. So Rin is going to go for the backup here through the laser, stomping down this peg because he does not want to go all the way back to the Valley teleporter. Tumbleweed here is going to lose him a significant amount of time as Sirius connects on Fast Stompless first try. Sorrow Crack RNG is a thing, and it is costing Rin some time, allowing Sirius to catch up a little bit, but will it be enough is the question as the race continues. Backup Sea Juggle is good for Rin, no troubles with the secondary frog and the rocket jump up to Sunstone. Successful, and we'll be getting the Dungeon Gate of Mount Horror.
Very well handled there by Rin, getting that backup frog. Didn't lose too much time, however it did still cost him a bit, so maybe if Sirius does manage to get this Sorrow Bash on his first try, taking the save here, yeah, just to make sure that he doesn't get reset too far back. If he does mess it up, it is a fairly complicated trick, especially the way he is doing it. Very nicely done, however, getting this AC, and we'll be doing the rocket jump up as we will be seeing him head to jump first before Stone.
Yeah, about a minute 30 difference at Glide. We do expect to see that tighten up once we get a more accurate times at Climb Tree. Because of the difference in the route here, we are going to have some timing issues in terms of, getting to Sea Jump and Sunstone. They're flipping backwards. As you can see, Sirius is getting Sea Jump just moments behind Rin, but we'll have to go up to collect the Sunstone first. So we will get a better idea of the time separation between the runners when they head into Tumani Liss, otherwise known as Misty Woods, and connect with the climb tree. Rin is going to be stomping down through the platforms here, now heading onto Misty Woods. Sirius is setting up for the terror break. Nice dashes through the spikes, gets the save off, and the charge jump into the spikes, and breaks the floor, and will now be collecting the Sunstone. This is where Rin kind of starting to tighten up the game. In the first race, didn't see a whole lot in terms of mistakes from him. From Sorrow exit on outwards, did have a little bit of bank panic at the mini boss here in Misty Woods, but other than that, he played very solid. Oh, actually, he did miss the grenade jump as well. So, for the most part, though, like very clean performance from Rin in game one from this point out. So Sirius definitely has his work cut out for him, but also definitely capable of doing it. The exit on Sorrow, thank you to Fupio and Truck 2221. Exit for Rin, will get that timing for Sirius momentarily.
Yeah, Rin opting not to go for the save. With his one energy, he lost some energy earlier through Misty, taking a hit there, but he will be fine, having just the right amount of health to not die. And this is why taking a 4 HP end blades was important. Getting that climb as Sirius enters Misty. So yeah, a bit ahead. There's a minute difference between the two of them. So yeah, Sirius still has his chances of catching back up, but for that, Rin will need to do some pretty strong mistakes.
Speaking of mistakes, Sirius stomping down into the spikes. They're down to 1 HP. Probably looking to place a safety save, I would imagine, before this. No, he's going to go through the weave here first before placing the save. Probably now at Atsu's torch for the rekindle skip, I would imagine. Rin, in the meantime, left side of your screen, down to 3 HP. Didn't see where he took the damage there, but one tap onto these spikes would spell doom, and he would be reset. No, he stomps down, falls, catches back onto the lantern, and recovers. Excellent job by Rin. Ooh, that would have been a nasty death. Places the save, gets up to the 4 HP, as well as Sirius is going to be tapping the climb tree. That was almost the mistake that Sirius needed from Rin in order to be able to catch up, but excellent recovery from Rin, quite possibly playing angry after a mistake like that. I know that feeling. Sometimes you play angry and you play better. I hope you're capturing that, Rin, because man, my heart, dude.
That was absolutely insane. You really see that Rin knows how to back up his stats. Excellent play from him, as Sirius on his side is heading through his Misty as well with some action. Down cancels too. Will be hopefully placing some safety saves on HUDs as well, as Rin makes his way towards final skill of the game, grenade. As be seeing some nice grenade jumps hopefully after he gets that skill, of course.
Yeah, long essay here from Rin just to save a second or two on rekindles and placing soul links later on, etc. So on and so forth. Sirius is going to be heading up to the mini boss. Will not have to deal with the Frankie with the chair. Gets the bang into the death. Where was the save? It was that climb. Oh, that is disastrous for Sirius. He is. This runs dead in the water. Sorry to but it is. Rin's got to have a 23rd try door warp at this point. That is such a huge death right at the mini boss. You're almost out of Misty. That's one of the biggest deaths that you could take in the category, and Sirius just didn't quite get the charge jump off after the stomp. Didn't get the iframes on. It takes another hit into the spikes as well. Oh, rough. I don't like to see it from Sirius, but it happens. It's a tough game, tough category.
Yeah, Sirius really opting for absolutely no saves, just going through Misty, getting that rocket jump once again. Zooming through. As we were talking, Rin got his grenade and went out of the zone already, so yeah, absolute Godspeed from him. And heading towards Horu Fields, where we will be seeing a few more grenade jumps as well. Going for that rocket jump, excellent stomp cancels and stair cancels, and going through these enemies very quickly. And the grenade jump is coming up, the one you saw in the intro and in the game before. Of course, taking that safe just in case, but yep, that's the grenade jump. We love to see it. And now heading towards door warp. Hopefully, we won't see a 23rd try.
Yeah, that the lack of safety saves from Rin, risky given that he doesn't know where his opponent is, but at the same time, I kind of like that from a mentality perspective. I was talking earlier on when, he was saying he was a bit tilted after the first race, kind of just doing what you're used to in terms of PB attempts and not taking some of those race safety saves. Ironically helps calm your nerves, even though it's the riskier play. Just catering to your muscle memory like that, doing what you're familiar with, it can definitely bring you back in. And it seems like it's paying off for Rin as well, as he is through with Warp Skip and the first room of the escape to 2 energy. Will be just fine, it looks, for the grenade jumps in terms of attempts there. Nice rocket jump off the Baneling for Sirius's entry into grenade, but we'll keep an eye on the left here as Rin is in the final escape. Does get the fish into position, stomping down, and takes 1 hit, 2 hits, gets Jeremy into the deep water, does not spawn Kuro, and the left side bash to avoid climb storage, and first try IG jump. That is GG for Rin, going to be roughly 28-42, and we'll take this best of 3 series 2-0. Again, we will be seeing a third match, but it will just be a fun West 20 seconds route match coming up after this. So GG to Rin for sure, and Sirius is now going to be exiting Blackroot, heading on towards his final escape as well. Nice G jump, by the way, there out of the teleporter. I like that.
Absolutely love that top route for that health cell. I believe he will be getting his 6 as well on the way to Horu, just to make sure. But yeah, Sirius has been playing very well ever since that missed death. Not catching up, sadly, but just showing off some really good runs right here. Another G jump. He might be seeing life split and knowing that Rin finish is going for the very nice G jumps that exist throughout Horu Fields, going for this one as well, as we saw Rin doing. Very nicely played by him. Absolutely crazily consistent with his G jumps. Sirius saying GG in the race time chat, confirming that he has seen that his opponent won as he's heading towards the final escape as well.
Yeah, Rin actually not narrow hopping there. An indicator to us as commentators that he probably felt like Sirius was going to be pretty close. Optimal narrow hopping optimization, I think, loses you about like 3 seconds or something like that. I'm not too sure of the timing offhand, but obviously showing respect for Sirius's capabilities, not doing the narrow hops. For sure, and rightfully so, I would say. Sirius starting the final escape now, as you mentioned, has seen that the game is over towards Rin, and Rin is going to be facing off against the winner of Primorix versus Leicester. By the way, we'll get the time. I believe that's on Sunday. I'll confirm that for you momentarily, though, because Sirius is in the final escape. It is activated, going for the G jump through the elemental room. Nicely done. Ooh, almost dashes back into the fire, but does recover it with a glide cancel, stomping down into the water. 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, no Kuro. Will we be seeing? No. The way that he set that up, I thought for a second he was going to go for the double final room G jump. Does spawn Kuro, but does get behind the cat and mouse trigger there, so has a fair bit of time to set up that G jump, and does so. Gets the movement from Ori as well. GG to Sirius. He's going to be finishing roughly low 31 territory. I think I would guess about 31.10. I looked away from the screen at the wrong time, so I wanted to get the timing for Primorix's next match, which indeed is going to be the 1st of May, happening at 9 p.m. UTC. That is Sunday.
Yeah, Sirius makes me stress a lot with that final little escape where he spawns Skuro. But yeah, very good time from Sirius, getting 31.10, I believe. So yeah, still an excellent time. Much better than his previous PB when he entered the tournament, I believe. So still putting up just an excellent race. We will be still seeing another game, has been told. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And we'll have actually another commentator than me. We'll have Zensus joining us with Shay for that one.
Indeed. We'll give the runners up to 10 minutes to have a bit of a break here, and then we'll get going with the friendly.
Alright, welcome back to this show match in the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament 2022. Yeah, we had 2 matches of a best of 3, incredibly close race in the first game, incredibly harsh Misty death in the second game, but now it is time for the real match. We are doing a What's 20 show match here, and for that, Shave is still here to do commentary with me. Shave, how are you doing?
I am excited. I am also a little sad that we don't get to see a 1-1 heading into Game 3. Seeing as this series has been super exciting on a lot of different fronts, but that's alright. Rin is taking the win. We get to see what's 20 seconds, which means we're going to see a whole heck of a lot of grenade jumps as the runners are leaving Sorrow. They will instead head to Grenade to pick up that before getting Climb in Misty so they can grenade jump there on out through to the end of the game. And we saw a lot of fun from Sirius last time he did what's 20 seconds, so expect to see more of that too. We expect Rin to spaghetti a whole lot because, you know, this is probably the first time he's doing what's 20 seconds. So I do expect Sirius to take this match more familiar with route, more familiar in general with the thing. So it should be good. We do also, by the way, I just want to say this explicitly so it's clear on the record that there's no confusion from anybody in chat. The runners have given us permission to be complete meme lords for race 3. So looking forward to that.
And remember, before the last match Sirius posted this nice little warm-up video called What's 20 Grenade Jumps, doing 20 grenade jumps in the second half of Misty alone, without even counting the horror field stuff. Yeah, I know he knows of more than those 20 by now, so I'm expecting to see like 24 this time at least.
Yeah. You know, 1 extra day is probably enough for Sirius to find like 10 more grenade jumps if he's really dedicated towards it. So looking forward to that. Honestly, this should just be an OL plus race from the start, and then just beeline directly to Climb to get that and grenade, and then just restart the match from prologue pretty much. Yeah, forced to go back to respawn. And then just grenade jump for 30 minutes straight. Your entire movement would have to be based exclusively on grenade jumps. You couldn't walk, you couldn't dash. It would, unless you were like going to set up the grenade jump, obviously, because you need to get into places. But Misty laser G jump death, yes or no? We should really set a prediction for that.
I mean, we are professionals, so we absolutely know how to do that. But luckily, we have help on the track, so you guys get to vote with your channel points too. Will Sirius face plant into the laser in Misty, or will he just get right through there? I'm hoping for the latter, but the first one is kind of funny to see too. But yeah, it looks like we are actually good to go. We've seen this twice before already today. It is time to walk to the left, and there's some text that you should be very happy about.
Thank you, Rin. Oh, it's so good. There's your prediction. We'll get your votes in chat, whether or not we're going to see, and how many, perhaps, if you want to type that in as well. Misty Laser G Jump test that we are going to get. Thank you, Rin. You're wonderful. I hope you watched this back. I'll tell you anyway later. Okay, so we're gonna pick up Sign, which is a mistake, honestly. This is the worst ability in the game. You should just skip it and do SBS instead, which is the superior category, because you don't have to worry about having Sign or losing double bashes. So, like, the only thing you're missing out on is Tom cancels, but, like, who really cares about that? Gonna be heading off and killing some Frankies over to the right. A little bit of a pause from Sirius. Honestly, he's probably lost the race on the basis of those 2 frames there, so might as well just DNF right now in race time.
True. Might also just do a reset. Honestly, get that mental back up after losing 2 frames. Probably better than what you can do otherwise in a race like this. But let's see. At least we're getting up from the bounce pad without much trouble getting up the wall. Now is the big question: how many pickup animations in the bramble wall? Looks like we're actually getting through without a single one. So Glade's being kind of friendly today.
Yeah, we get into Keystone, heading over towards Spooky Casper door. Rin not climbing up onto the rock because he's decided to just handicap himself for a moment there to make things a little bit more even. Thinking, arrogantly so that he would just completely demolish Sirius. #1 seed, look how good at the video game I am. Or even going for 3 HP route. Oh, I'm so special.
And there it is, yeah.
Get wrecked, Rin!
Yeah, that's what you get for going 3 HP in a race. I know Wilson has been having opinions on 4 HP throughout this entire tournament, but yeah, you go for 3 HP and the instant drop, you get sent back to Ghost Star. That's just how it goes. So Sirius now taking the lead here, collecting a keystone a whole 8 seconds or so earlier than Rin. Ginormous lead will totally snowball throughout the rest of the run.
Oh yeah, especially with Rin having probably, I'm just gonna call it now. He's gonna miss Sarabash 3 more times, and Sirius is gonna have absolutely no problems with it. Just gonna demolish that whole thing. We do get flower skip from Rin. Does salvage his pride a little bit there, getting one of the easiest tricks in the game. Goes for the backflip heading into the cutscene, but misses it. Good lord. How do you even, Rin? But we are going to be getting wall jump. Sirius is going to be first to it. Did get the level up, but not at the bramble, so he's going to have to shoot at it on the way out. But still the better runner than Rin, obviously, so, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, you asked how do you even Rin? Well, he was 6 seconds behind, so he was even behind. That's how you even in a race like this.
That's how you even, I see. I see what you did there.
But hey, at least we're getting 1 level up explosion on the way out here. Get some nice short hops right into the bramble, taking 2 damage. That means elbow is gonna be hell on earth. Never mind, we're resetting back to watch. So let's just look how Sirius does this elbow. Also gets a bong twice, but he took the superior 4 HP route, so everything is fine. Off to Blackroot we go.
Yeah, indeed. Noria Nova Kornya is the direction that we are heading to pick up Dash to go fast skill in the game. Thank you, Rin, by the way, for showcasing the Russian quite poignantly on time. As you are heading over to Blackroot Burrows, Sirius is going to be taking a shot from the slime, just because he can. He wants to show that he can do Blackroot on 3 HP or less. In fact, 1 HP. As he's heading in with 25 XP left to go for the level up. We do see Rin on 1 HP as well. Yeah, you know what? I think, no, he placed a safety save. Wow, coward.
Hey, gotta at least do something after going for 3 HP here. Honestly, I wanna see pause floats, but I feel like we're not gonna get any in Blackroot, but I'm still hoping for them. Just a nice hover over the entirety of the big pit, especially since we are on 1 HP and can't even do it. That would be great.
Rin will go for it if he does get that HP count back up. Absolutely he will. See, there you go. It's done differently, of course, because the transliteration in this game, translation in this game, as we know from the German runners in the community, is definitely top notch. Sirius not going for the pause floats, will be going for the normal cycle. Looking good here so far, and does successfully get on through. Will we get the HP refill from Rin at any given point for the pause floats? I imagine off of this XP, if he wants to go back up, he will. No, wow, coward. Again, coward part 2, the cowarding from Rin, just going the vanilla route through the lantern room. For shame.
Yeah, neither of our runners are doing pause floats here, but at least Sirius took the leap of faith to the platform, fell off and caught the one below, and actually didn't lose any more time than if he didn't do the jump in the first place. So that's good. Now we got our door open on one side, not going for the high five. Rin was a bit too slow for the high five here. Now Save Anywhere is up and into the cutscene room. So yeah, I guess we have some time to drink a cup of tea, look at those 3 health orbs, wondering where the 4th one went, and all that kind of jazz.
Ooh, jazz. Wes Montgomery is probably my favorite jazz guitarist, I would have to say. Chet Baker, also talented. Barney Kessel, very enjoyable as well. If you're into that, the jazz guitar, I do recommend Pat Metheny. And if you want some piano, Dave Brubeck and Stan Getz, probably my top 2 recommendations for jazz.
I will just refer to you here because I am uncultured and I don't listen to jazz.
You
Anyway,
swine! Get off of my commentary team.
too bad. I opened this. This is my team, and I can just
Oh.
see how Sirius didn't go past the big gap in Blackroot, but at least didn't fall off. Got a bit of a knockback from the slime there, but now is through. Can start his Frankie war. Meanwhile, Rin opting for some good old orb crushing. Honestly, yeah, I think that solves the 3 HP problem. I think he can be forgiven for that.
Yeah, I think we've kind of leveled out on that a little bit. Sirius in the lead here, taking Billy for a walk. Billy not on the leash, which is against bylaw regulations for Sunken Glades, but that's okay. There's no cops in the vicinity, so we don't particularly care. We're going to be seeing the Frankie walk now. Yes, indeed, the level up is good. Will Death Gauntlet be good as well? So far, so good. Climbing up the wall, dodging the Frankie. Will we get Death Glide? No. Ooh. Rin can take the lead on swag points here if he goes for Death Glide.
True. Some people might say, but we have Quake Flame. We can just kill the prem. No, Death Knight looks cool, so we should absolutely do it.
Yeah, totally.
The Frankie having Rin. Oh my God, that's
He's
a
got
death.
a chair!
Oh, jumping straight down. All right, do we get the God? Yeah, we get a God cycle. But on the left, that was one hell of a death all the way back to BRB. So, yeah, I guess Sirius can now take it a bit slow. Just already start thinking about all the wonderful grenade jumps because Rin is gonna have to take a second walk here, and that's gonna take some time.
Maybe Rin's playing on. No, I see the mouse cursor there. I was thinking maybe he was playing on controller, but just for the memes. But I guess not. Just good old fashioned spaghetti. Doesn't even have an excuse for it, really. Yeah. So second attempt at Frankie walk, low on the position, but does manage to collect the XP and climb up in time to be able to get the energy into the door and will be through. So despite the death, still looking for the swag point Death Glide. No, we're not getting it. That's fine. We're even on swag points. Will we get honorary French citizenship from Sirius? As I was corrected by Bobies earlier, destroying the crystal is the sign of whether or not you can get honorary French citizenship. So we'll see here on the right side of the screen. Yep, destroys the crystal before going for baguette jump. So not a French citizen as we are into Gumo's hideout now. Ooh, Rin bonking the crystal does not get the God cycle. Which is going to give Sirius minus 8 seconds on his timer versus Rin coming up. I love this right. What are your opinions, Zemsis, on this right side climb here?
So seeing how I actually tried this myself, and when I got it, it was like 0.1 faster for me, and I could barely ever get it because that wall is slippery as heck. Yeah, loving it. Glad to see Sirius doesn't have problems with that side.
Yeah, but it's 0.1 seconds. Like that's
Yeah.
at least a frame.
True, and we know swag is time neutral anyway, but in this case it's positive even before the swag point, so even better.
All right. Rin taking a bit of a death there down to double jump. That's fine. He's got a safety save here. It's okay. Sirius is going to be climbing up into Enter Ginzo, toughest split in the video game. Don't at me, bro. And we're going to get some game storage. Oh, no, we're going to be getting a backup save into blind movement from Rin. Very interesting indeed, perhaps. Where did I see? I saw that a while ago. Was it during? Oh yeah, it was during Rin's All Cells GDQ run. He went for that backup save. I remember that now. I commentated that. I was there.
Yes, you were. Which means you should be remembering that a bit closer.
Me and the memory? Are you kidding?
Oh,
No.
actually, look at that. Rin confirming his French citizenship, getting both a first try to skip and, way more importantly, a first try to get jump. So looks like his double jump is still working just fine here. But I think Rin is not gonna do right route here, is he? No. We are going up the left wall and almost not getting our 100, and yeah, looks like both of our runners get to double jump at different walls for now. Let's see how those telehops go.
You know he's going to go for telehops. I don't know how Sirius does this. I need triple jump in order to be able to pull off telehops, and they're slow as all crap. Does take a hit from the gamer as he tried to adjust from missing the telehop. But dropping down, decides, you know what, I'm going to go for it again. Oh, he's a little stuck there on the second portal. That's okay. Just go for it. You know what? Go for it a fourth time. Go for it. No, serious. Fourth time. Fine. Make it a slow third attempt. See if I care. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
I mean, at least we got one really fast telehop at the start, and then some honor rounds afterwards. Let's not be too harsh on him here. So.
Okay.
Misses the plant cycle though, so yeah, I guess we can trash talk a bit for that. Meanwhile, Rin getting his extra AC on top of the tree. That means actually he does not even have to adjust any XP for what's 20 now that I think about it, as long as he just grabs that. Hey, that's great. But yeah, how do you think, how many cycles for the minibus? I'm gonna go with 3.
Or 2 right side spawns.
Oh, 2 right side spawns. Alright, let's see.
Oh,
That's 1. That counts. But it's a fast cycle.
Yeah, you got a 4 cycle, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to see whether or not we get that on Rin's side, I suppose.
Yeah, we all know the next spawn would have been on the right, so I still give you those points.
Alright, we are into Ginzo Tree for Rin now. Does get the game storage tech and is on the way through into Gamer Room. Fast cycle incoming or not, I expect so. Hasn't seemed to have a whole lot of problems with this room, generally speaking, in the tournament so far. And yep, indeed, is through cleanly. The Sirius is picking up Bash at roughly 14:04. Difference between the runners entering Ginzo about $1.48. But gonna see some catch up here for Rin on the basis of some execution, I would imagine, as well as Mr. Asmus cycle here. Yep, getting the drop down and getting the platform. Thank you for the meme jumps. The meme jumps are the optimal way to perform this room. Left side of your screen as we are seeing Sirius heading for Kidu.
Yes, indeed. Alright, let's see how that Keytube goes. Takes his 2 damage there to set up his HP, being on 4 HP and all that. Means he will need an extra damage boost to not die twice to spikes. Oh, actually lands on the platform for a moment. So hey, another fractions of seconds that Rin can save here on that, but otherwise looks like he's getting his 4 keystones. Just almost gets rammed into the spikes, but saves himself here, sets up his hyperspeed save and jumping into the elemental room, and Rin being somewhat on his trail here. Can he get the hyperspeed? Not going for the hyperspeed even. I didn't see a dash, so that means his bash will be about at 15:21, and I already forgot what difference that is.
7 minute 17, I think.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We'll get an update, I'm sure, from the truck that's paying considerably more attention to the race than we are. Alright, Sirius going for the 200 XP pickup here again. We are doing what's 20 seconds route, which is going for Grenade first before heading to Misty Woods. And so the XP routing is a little bit different here. Don't worry about it. It's all for early C dash and extra ability point expenditure, etc. etc. Sirius is heading on to Swamp Entry. Rin successfully managing to key dupe. Congratulations, Rin. You have performed one of the easiest tricks to learn in the video game. unlike how you performed it in the first match. So good job. You are improving. Practice paying off as Ringo goes for a bit of a swim on Sirius's side. That's okay. He's a frog. He should be able to swim. But joke is on you. This is Nibel, where frogs can't swim, as evidenced right there. Dropping the frog back in.
Yeah,
allowing
look at that bug. Thank you, Bash. Just dropping the frog right into the water instead of picking up and around
What are
the
you talking
wall.
about? Bash is a perfect skill that has never dropped on a double bash, ever, not even once, especially not in swamp near water shaders.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you out on every single thing you just said there. We both
Fair
know
enough.
that's not how Bash works. Let's see on the left. Oh, got the ramp, but didn't get the dash glide, so no bigger. Well, it's still a bigger ramp, just not the full one. I'll give partial credits for that one. But for now, let's see if he can make some time up here on the swamp entry. Does not place a safe. That was, oh my god, Rin, what is this? Yeah, can you take a bit of concern for my heart here? Alright, but looks like he is through with no, I'm not calling this without a problem, but without the dunked frog, and can now high five Sirius here as long as Sirius gets around the platform. Okay, true high five at the door, Rin going up, Sirius coming down.
Alright, so 17-17 stomp for Sirius. We are getting confirmation that the difference at the second Ginzo mini boss was about 12. As Sirius is going underwater to collect that XP. Again, what's 20 seconds routing? We get the Ringo drum roll. Ringo does not have enough time to skate off to the left and take a nosedive into the spikes like the sad frog that he is, so everything is just fine. Sirius almost had lore 3 separate times here on the Kuro cutscene skip in the previous race. Will he get it? Excellent job, no lore, making Wilson sad. We do not get the story on the right side of your screen as we are heading off towards Charge Flame. It would be interesting to see whether or not Sirius decides to route in Double Bash, previously thought as TAS-only shenanigans with this shot. No, does just go for the regular damage boost, which makes me sad, but also very understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at least Rin is going to go for those stars double bashes, seeing how he normally does that in his runs, I think, or
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say he does, and if he doesn't, then his runs are wrong and not me. But looks like Sirius has reached C-Flamed 3. He already putting 2 things in, will be getting his early C-Dash soon, and Rin actually only doing a single... Oh my god, is he going... he was going for the 1-frame bash off the ground. Sadly, didn't quite get it, but hey, points for trying.
Points for trying indeed, and 37-second difference. Probably a little bit tighter than that, honestly, as we're coming up on C-Flame, but it was 37 seconds. We're leveling up C-Dash, reminding me of all cells, giving me an opportunity to shamelessly plug once again that everybody should run all cells, no out of bounds, no teleport anywhere, because it is an extremely fun category, especially in the cleanup phase, and we would love to see more runners, so please join us in that category. But this is all skills, won't be seeing it. Of course, the whole collection phase shenanigans as we are off to Stompless Sirius on the right side of your screen, collecting a little bit of energy there. He's had a dash bash off the ground, very nicely done, with the rocket jump into the stump on the bird boss, who will not be the boss of us today. And impossible to determine whether or not the shot is accurate, but I'm going to say that it is because I can. Does get hit by Keith, though. We might see Sad Cell as addition number 2. Yes, the spider shot into the spikes as well, and nowhere near close enough for Sirius to collect that ability, so we will be going down to the 3-bird room.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could also just not pick up any of this. I think Sirius does have the 2 cells needed to
True.
get through Sorrow, and could just get the BRB backup cell, but that most certainly was the Sad Cellers, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he just jumps up, he's gonna get a cell in a different place, instead now setting up for Sorrow Bash as Rin is racing a spider shot, starting the save anywhere, dropping the double bash. So that sounds like double set sellers here in the show match indeed. So as Sirius is doing so, Rin now has to think about his backups, seeing how he didn't go early see that and might actually need that for Sorrow.
Well, at least the complete ineptitude was equal on both sides.
True. No unfair advantages by being able to pull off a skill here on either side.
Yeah, very true, very true. We are seeing the long essay here from Sirius as he's going to be going off to charge jump. Backup cell is going to be standard for Rin. Probably does not want to use his 3 brain cells to think about which backup cell to go for, so just goes for the 3 bird cell instead. And, that's reasonable enough. You're on match number 3, and you've probably consumed 2 of those brain cells on your first 2 races, so perfectly fine, Rin. It's okay. I forgive you, and I love you anyway.
Yeah, and Rin saying something about the keyboard switching to QWERTY or something. I'm just going to say Rin was actually hoping to do the superior version of this category that involves this tumbleweed to the left, because his dropping down to the right, aggroing a specific frog. Yep, that's exactly what you do. Sadly, I don't think Sirius would be okay with that in the race here. Sad, but I guess we juggle the frog up instead and then high-five each other near Sunstone, with the only difference being that Sirius already got his charge jump by this point.
Indeed. Into the Propusk Pacelli Sorrow Pass. As we can... It's called something different in the video game as well, but that's what I know it by in the Russian. And, so we're going to be seeing Sirius exit Sorrow first, I believe. Oh, by the way, Promorix, Rin apologizes for the keyboard switch. I don't know if Zem mentioned that. But anyway, we are getting the Meteor kick down to the Valley Teleporter. As mentioned, this is where the What's 20 Seconds route officially begins, as we are heading off to the Grenade Tree now to collect that before heading off to Misty Woods. We do see 23:01 Meteor kick from Sirius was 45 seconds between the runners at Glide, so we'll get a bit of a better indication once Rin is exiting SAR, which will be momentarily. And in the meantime, Sirius is just heading off towards Grenade, not doing the long SA here. That is okay, at least by me. I'm not too sure whether or not you're okay with that, Zim, but I'm fine with it.
Well, at least we remembered to get the backups, so I guess Sirius is allowed to do short SA here, especially when he does this to get up to Grenade Tree. That means cutscene is skipped. Rin takes another death in the Sorrow Spikes, this time not coming from below but coming from above, but hey, it's Sorrow Bash all the way down. So Sirius now grabbing his grenade at 24:07 here, which means we sadly cannot grenade jump out of Blackroot, but in about a minute or so, that fact will change a lot.
Tachi, actually, if you look at the top of your screen where it says best of 3 and you see the 2 little Ori orbs over on Rin's side, so it's a show match, just to confirm for you. Rocket jump out from Grenade from Sirius. I did not see what time we got the Meteor kick from Rin because I was busy paying attention to other things like a professional commentator. And Sirius is now heading back to the Valley Teleporter to go on towards Climb, as Rin is setting up for the long SA and the lever glitch to open up the door, heading to the Blackroot Teleporter afterwards.
Do you think Rin remembers he needs an AC? Okay, he does.
Yeah, he does. There you go.
Getting it while Sirius does the nice hyperspeed save. I love that thing into Misty. Utilizing the teleporter to get all the energy back and also just straight up flying into Misty Woods. And that means we get a classic all skills Misty for now.
For now. Indeed. I like that Rin went for the Baneling rocket jump, but whiffed on the bash angle, so it had to go for the standard C jump up to the bird. A minor failure on Rin's part. He is certainly spaghettied a lot harder in this race, so honestly I don't even feel like calling him out on that. But yeah, we are 5 HP Misty for Sirius, which is pretty comfortable, all things considered. Can take a couple hits depending on your rekindled positions and so on and so forth. And we did see a pretty nasty death, actually, from Sirius in game number 2, but has acquired Climb, and now we get to see at least 20 grenade jumps. Here's number 1.
He is number 1 indeed, and setting up for the second one, too. Getting the nice charge jump out of it. Now onto the left wall. To the right, does not hit spikes, breaks the crystal, slides off the wall, but number 4, and here it is. Oh, frog in the way. That's annoying, but let's see what the prediction says. Gets through. That means no death to it. Indeed, my 10k points are saved as long as he doesn't die in Misty and dies on the second run. But here it is, next G-jump. That one wasn't in last time and can now hop over to the right. Let's see if he... Oh my god! Please charge jump out of that. I need my points. Alright, getting out of the crystal room. Does not go for the grenade jump to the left here. I'm slightly disappointed, but at least we're getting this cool one before the meatballs. And all that's left is some extremely unnecessary but very swagful G-jumps right above those spikes before we
Nice.
can delete the mini-boss and get out of here.
So that was Bang Bang Pow. Bang Pow was the scientific version of that Bang Zoom kill from Sirius, just in case you're keeping track of that. Grenade jump to the keystone door, grenade jump back, and then back over to the left after you wait for the keystone door to open, and then back to the right, because left and right is how you do grenade jumps. And we're going to get one more here for the Misty exit into a Terra jump. Oh, nope, hit the frog, that's okay. And up onto the wall. This one should get him directly to the Valley Teleporter, as grenade jumps will now begin on Rin's side, left side of your screen. 2756 activating on that climb, which is completely irrelevant because I am no longer taking notes, as Sirius stops the stone, exiting the Swamp Teleporter, still into many layers for Rin, having a little bit of trouble with that grenade jump, does get it thrown into the Baneling and deleted.
While the G-jump was fine, the missing bash wasn't. This time he bashes too early and gets deleted by the drop pod. Let's go for attempt number 3.
Too by the Baneling.
Also right into the paneling. Guys, you can't jump into the explosion. You actually gotta bash off of these things. But now Rin is finally up, and I'm kinda scared that he will actually go for the laser grenade jump at this point, seeing how he did every single G-jump Sirius did too. Back to the left we go. Going down, and oh no, there's the save coming down. Going to the wall, going up, and just randomly aiming somewhere. Didn't get the G-jump at all. That wasn't a G-jump there. He just jumped into... Okay, Rin, this is personal. You owe me those points, and you know it.
Oh god, that's too funny. I love that little boost off of the corner as well. Sirius, in the meantime, entering Horo as Rin takes damage. I have no idea where he's last placed his save, which is probably at the lasers. Does place another one there, so he's back up to 3 HP, can still die, but probably not worried about it, because I am not either. And Sirius, no warp skip for him, just activating the final escape. And how many G-jumps will we get in the final escape? I'm gonna go for 7, just for memes. I have no idea if that number is even accurate. You'd have a better idea, but that's okay.
Well, we're not doing first room because we have so much energy we can just burn it. So up we go through the lantern room now. Elemental room G-jump. If we were memeing, we could do one to the left here. Not going to, however. Let's see if the left bash is coming through. Yes, that's a left bash. Are we doing triple? No, we are only doing double, but setting up for the G-jump here on the wall. Does not even get the G-jump, so all the setup for naught, but now he can set up on the last wall. GG Sirius. I'm not sure how much of it is due to Watts 20, but definitely taking the Watts 20 win here.
Yeah. I don't know either, but I love to see it. Thank you, runners, for doing this. This has been great. All right, so Sirius, honestly, not going for the double even grenade jump in the final room has, as far as I'm concerned, memed himself out of the victory, even though he's got this, but only if and only if Rin goes for double or even triple G jump final room. If Rin goes for it, then Rin will win the memes. If Rin does not go for it, then Sirius will win the memes, and also some bratwurst.
Honestly, I'm incredibly disappointed by Sirius' performance here. Not going for the Naru hops at the end of What's Trend. He should be criminal, and if he didn't already get knocked out, that should be like a instant disqualification, honestly. But I guess he did finish the run, so let's give him that. Rin on the
Yeah, true,
left.
true.
Taking a death and kind of just standing around for a while, but now getting his health cell back. Let's see if he will also G-jump into the Baneling another time. Yes, he does! Right into the explosion. Takes a death right back to about one screen away.
Yeah, that's right. He had the save place right there, so it's not really a big deal. But not going for it decides that the Baneling has had enough. Not too sure on Rin's StarCraft 2 experience, but if he's played a fair amount of that game, he's probably had enough of the Terran BS anyway as a Zerg main. I can definitely feel that. The Banelings getting their revenge, which makes me happy, personally. So we're going to see Rin entering the final escape. I would expect, because we're going to see a whole lot of G-jumps, ideally, that Rin won't go for warmth skip, but I am not in Rin's brain, so I don't know, honestly. Sirius beating my PB in a meme run. I need to come back to this video game.
Hey, I know this category where going what's 20 is actually optimal. It looks very much like this one, it just involves some tumbleweeds. Alright, but Rin going for warmth skip here, I have no idea where he is. I think he also kinda doesn't know where he is. There's the death, so going back into the blind movement is... I mean, I don't have audio, but is he going for warm skip G-jump? Is that what we're seeing
I'm
here?
pretty sure that's what's happening here. Is he's going for the G-jump off of the left side room here. No, he just goes through the normal way that time. Does only have one energy, however, so keep that in mind. Does have the UI up conveniently for us to see. Thank you very much for that, Rin. Setting up for the fish. Everything is looking pretty good. Gets the stomp down into the water. Don't have a name for the first fish, but the second fish is Jeremy. He's through and spawns Kuro. Ooh, has to race off to the right. Almost gets blitzkrieged by the Sigma Rock coming down here, but does get across behind the cat and mouse trigger just in time. Gets the G-jump with Pearl swooping in and will not get eaten by Big Angry Owl. And GG to Rin loses the memes, wins the match, and will be advancing on to face the winner of Primorix versus Luster. Again, that race is going to be happening Sunday at 9 p.m. UTC. So if you want to see the opponent for Rin, that is the race to keep your eyes upon.
But you said loses the memes, wins the match. I think Rin still has the opportunity to win the memes here.
Yeah, good
because, yeah, there is Naru hopping, Rin taking the victory of our hearts here, even in the third match. Clean sweep 3-0 by Sirius forgetting to do the hops. So GG Rin.
Speaking of Sirius, we'll bring him in for chat now, as well as Rin. GG to both of you guys. That was entertaining series to watch.
Thank you very much.
GG's.
Okay, so a couple quick things. Sirius, you're not going for the narrow hops. Rin going for the narrow hops.
Wow.
So, Rin, you may have technically been behind on race time by 3.5 minutes, but you went for narrow hops, so you won the match.
So true.
Yeah, congratulations for the clean sweep 3-0 here. Speaking of questions, Rin, how does it feel to know you're directly responsible to me losing 10k points for that, whatever that laser G-jump attempt thingy was?
Okay, so like, I have literally never done that G jump before, so I just went like, I'm just gonna save around here and then C jump around here. Surely it's gonna work.
My favorite part was how your seed jump angle thing was
Yeah.
like waving around. Yes, you were very clearly like, what the crap am I doing? Oh my god. We'll get serious, no pun intended, actually pun intended, for a second here. Going to the two races that mattered. That was an extremely close first race between both of you. And Sirius, you smashed your PB, finally getting to the 29 stage, only 15 seconds separating both of you. What was your mindset to both of you? We'll go to Sirius first, heading into the second race, saying that the first one was that close.
Well, it was. I feel like it was unlikely for the second race to also be close. There's just a huge skill gap between the two of us. It was really cool to get a close race, but I'm not sad that I didn't reproduce it. That was just really unlikely to happen again.
And Rin?
Yeah, I was, because like, I don't know if you guys on comms saw it, but on the race time, like Sirius's race time was a bit off, and so when I clicked .done, I literally just click and see Sirius's name pop, like, as I click. Like, that's how close it was, according to race time. And so, I missed the grenade jump, right? And I'm like, wait, this might be really bad, because knowing Sirius, like, there's definitely a word where he gets a low 29, and that happens. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Did the walk help you between races 1 and 2?
Yeah. Something like that this race has taught me is that I take one race to like get into the hang of things. Like second race, I was much calmer than the first one. So like just taking a breather, being like, okay, that's happened, but that's fine. Like I needed time to warm up, and like the next one's gonna be better, which it was marginally, but that's like I feel like just like not touching the game during the break at all just helps a ton for me.
Yeah, and I got one for you, Sirius. Being 53 seconds ahead of PB at one point, PB here in the race. Obviously, tournament run is now over, but are you just gonna keep it? Are you gonna push the time anytime soon?
Soon? I don't know about soon. Maybe someday. But no, for now I'll just step back and be happy that I have a 29 newly acquired.
Fair enough. Now back to the important things. Game 3. Rin, taking the death after heading down a wall jump, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because you went 3 HP route and then you got sent back to Ghost Door. How terrible of a runner do you have to be to screw up that instant drop?
Hey man, I had to go for it. I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna meme it out, like, might as well go all out, right? Like, but, might as well go for my favorite strat in the entire game. I wanted to go for BRB cross float as well, but I was on 1 HP, so I couldn't. I was very sad.
Yeah, I've been calling you out for being on 1 HP on BRB entry. Don't worry.
Yeah. I was actually saying in the Discord that the pause floats are more important, and you should have taken the lower XP to get the refill and do pause floats anyway.
True, you're so smart. I should have done that. Yeah.
Yep. And then Billy.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about Billy.
Hey man, I mean, I was fighting. He had a chair. Like, what else can you do? Like. But no, yeah. Seriously, I was like trying to, because like, I was super low on EXP. I was like 18 away, I think. Mm-hmm. And so like I see that I mess up Frankie Walk because like he's supposed to bonk and get into a precise position, but like he didn't. And I was like, okay, I can't do the backup setup because I might fail because of EXP RNG. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll just reposition him. And what's the worst that could happen? And the worst did happen.
The worst happened. Yeah. Sirius, unfortunately for you, you voided your honorary French citizenship by breaking the crystal at Baguette Jump. Why?
Well, because this is the only true way to do baguette jump, and anyone who is French is wrong about this.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, this is war. This is war right here.
We can make a beer jump out of it. It's fine.
I'm good on questions, man. You got anything else?
Yeah, I guess we should probably ask about your next match.
Ambulance.
Hey, Rin, how you feeling about your next matchup? Are you gonna maybe, practice your Sorrow Bash a bit, or what your thoughts on that?
Honestly, Sorobash is an easy trick, as you have seen. Not worth practicing at all, definitely. Didn't die to it 5 times. Yeah. But no, more seriously, Primarix versus Uster, I expect to be incredibly close, because like both runners have been grinding out, and like they're at top form right now, the both of them, and like if Luster wins, then it's gonna be really tight. I would be more afraid of Primarix if he was as good as the game as he was at shitposting, but
Well, Primorix, what do you have to say to that? I know you're in chat. I will wait for your response there. Nice.
Time,
You just
yeah.
said nice. Okay.
I love you, Prim.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, alright. It looks like we're both fresh out of questions here, except for questions about some of these UG jumps and Misty. So let's see what's up next. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC, we have the Duel versus Infinite. Another best of 3 happening there. And then on Sunday, we have 2 matches. I wanna say back to back, but there's actually an hour break between them. At 6 p.m., it's gonna be Ronnie versus Pause. And then at 9 p.m., the match we already talked about, Primorix versus Luster. So tune in for every single one of you, or I will personally find you and throw a tumbleweed at you. Otherwise, I have to thank Apple for the restream here, Foops for track, Shay for commentating with me, and of course, everyone who volunteered earlier for the first 2 matches as well. And I think with that, it is time. Yeah, Infinite, Bobby's 2kill. All of you, great people. Glad to have all of you here on board. And I think with that, it's time to sign off, Shave.
Indeed. GG. Thanks, guys.